I don't know exactly how to start this video. I think I just wanted to make it to help me kind of document my thought process when I was shooting the first roll, or I guess the first 3 rolls of Portra 400. I got back into film photography recently after watching a lot of Grainy Days, and so I guess let's just look at the images. You know what I realized? I realized I totally forgot to show the star of this particular video. This is my Olympus OM-1. And this is the 51.4. All the photos I'll be showing today are actually on the 51.8, but I just got this, so I'm excited to shoot on the 1.4 when I do get a chance. You'll notice that in this roll, all the photos have a green kind of look to them, and I think that's like more due to my actual ND filter. I bought a cheap ND filter just so I could shoot wide open, a bit more out in the open day. And I think I'll take the trade-off between the kind of the green extra look, because I think with film it kind of makes it look sepia tone-ish. But I've never been great with colors, so I'll let you kind of gauge that. So I really love this first photo that came out. It's just so moody. This is Conjured Coffee in Fort Wayne, and they already have a great vibe, and I think the roll and the look just fits this place perfectly. And for me, I kind of like more desaturated colors, so this is me just kind of removing that greenish yellowish look, so I gave it more of a cool white look. And obviously I went a little too far, because over here I'm just like, I lost all the green saturations there, unfortunately. I might go back and add those greens back in, but I think with film you don't really have that much latitude in terms of editing the photos, or at least, you know, intensely editing them to make them look a lot different, just because everything is, you know, baked into the film and then scanned in. And big shout outs to Fort Wayne Film Lab again for helping me out with this roll. They did a great job, and I'm really happy with the original images. I'm definitely more of a vertical shooter in terms of my personal work, and it's pretty hard for me to fill entire frames horizontally. So what I try to do is, in my vertical frames, I try to fill in more head space than anything. But it works sometimes and it doesn't work. But I think in this case, with this photo, it kind of works. I might have chosen stuff. I honestly would have given even more headroom, honestly. But I'm okay with this image. So this one, I was trying to find some leading lines, just to kind of, you know, learn. I really don't think about framing that often with still subjects, mainly just because I am a portrait photographer, and I kind of just rely on my subject to kind of inspire, you know, how I frame things up. But in this case, you know, I was trying real hard to kind of figure that out in terms of, like, you know, what are the leading lines here. And I don't know, I think it's just kind of a boring photo, but I guess it's a good practice and in terms of like figuring out, you know, like where do the eyes go in photos. So hey, here's a portrait actually of my friend who was helping me record my walk, and I'm kind of surprised by how well this particular photo came out. I guess like when people are talking about, you know, avoiding that sharpness, that digital look, I think this is a perfect example of how film and old lenses really do help, you know, get rid of that. The grain is nice, just the overall feel and look is very nice. Alright, so here is the edited version. took the shadows down. I kind of brought the blues back out in this image. Just made everything generally just a bit cooler. Everything is still blown out in the background. There's not much I can do about that. But I think, in my opinion, the skin tones on the edited version do look a little bit better than on, you know, the other version, just because of that filter. And I'm really interested to see what the film can do when it's, you know, when that filter isn't making this hue on it. This photo, I think this was my favorite photo when I came onto it. It was just like how bright that Ford truck was against, and I know you can't really tell in this photo, but the building behind it was actually a red brick building, not the one, you know, to the left, but the one directly far right behind it. I think I might have been able to get that color if I didn't overexpose it so much, but I was afraid that, you know, if I didn't overexpose it, I'd lose the truck in the shadows. So let's look at the edited version of that photo. Put them up side by side. Because I think, honestly, I think the exposure for the truck is right. I guess I could go a little darker, but honestly, I think I prefer that exposure setting for that truck. Kind of turned everything in the background white. I probably should have not gone so hard on trying to remove that green and yellow. But that's my fault. And, you know, you tell me, you know, which one you prefer. I might go back and feed some of that color back in to that building. But I was kind of just hoping to see what everything would look like, you know, straight out of camera. And I think generally the straight out camera is actually better than my edits. But these are just kind of like last minutes, and because I didn't really want to edit them too much, because I could think that kind of defeats the purpose. So here's a composition I was trying to set up with like these garbage cans and the truck and the people, and unfortunately I just wasn't shooting at a fast enough shutter speed, so everything's just a bit blurry. I think there would have been a pretty cool composition here if I'd set it up correctly, but at the moment it just feels kind of, I don't know, it feels kind of heavy on the right hand side and just not well balanced on the top. So yeah, I'm going to try to work on that aspect of my photography. I'm not sure what I was looking for with this composition. I guess I thought the red would pop nicely against the blue, and I think I was just looking more for like how the colors would kind of turn out for this photo. Beyond that, nothing really great about it. It's an empty lot. Everyone loves an empty lot. So this is actually a relatively new building in our city. It has like really vivid red, you know, brick. Is it brick? You know, whatever it is, on its walls. And I just wanted to see, you know, how those colors would turn out. And the thing about film is, like, from what I'm seeing so far, is the colors are more washed out. Not that they're not contrasty, but I think everything just kind of blends in together better. And I think I kind of like that aspect of film a little bit more, where it's just like, you know, not so stark and contrasty, so you're not just constantly looking at all the different colors. It's kind of, I just kind of look over it, and it just kind of, you know, smoothly walks you through the photo. I have no idea what I'm saying. I really like this photo. There was kind of steam coming out of the building, and I thought this gave great atmosphere to the area. I think I I think I waited here a good minute or two, just waiting for, you know, the right puff of steam to come out. And I think it is pretty cool in terms of, you know, the look of it. But once again, the composition, not as great, unfortunately. And here is this roll, or not this roll, this exposure right here was kind of where I messed up. I didn't count my exposures correctly, so I winded this one up halfway before it stopped. So I had to take the photo, rewind it a little bit so I could finish winding the actual switch here. It's called switch. I can't. Yeah. Anyways, but it wouldn't let me finish until I rewound it, so I ended up with a double exposure. And then when I did finally get around to rewinding it completely, I ripped the film. Sadly. So this is kind of the culmination of all that. Didn't help either that it was freezing cold outside when I was trying to do it, and the OM-1 is, you know, it's pretty much an all metal camera, so it was just freezing, and my hands are freezing. It was not a good time rewinding this guy. But other than that, you know, it was a pretty good shoot. And that pretty much sums up my experience with those first 3 rolls. I still have 2 more rolls of Portra 400 to shoot. I just got an EOS 3 off of eBay, so I'm kind of excited to put a roll through that and see how well that goes. But thanks so much for hanging out with me. I'm hoping I stay motivated for the rest of this year to kind of continue the projects I have in mind. Overall, though, I was really happy with the experience, and I feel good about what's to come. Thanks for hanging out. Hope you have a great day.